I've made it to the front of the barricade, away from the public eye. I take off my glasses and cut the chains that are holding the barricade together. I can't believe it. I must have put my knife in my pocket without even realizing it. No, I definitely put it in there. So that I'd be ready to kill someone at a moment's notice. Forcing myself to come to terms with that fact, I slip through the gap in the barricade. I don't want to think about anything right now. I'm sure things will turn out fine if I just do exactly as Senpai told me to. I pick my way down the shattered remains of the concrete structure. The drop between each layer of rubble makes it look like a staircase made for giants. Climbing down is child's play, but getting back up again is going to be next to impossible. Clambering up a sheer cliff almost 2 meters tall is difficult enough as it is. If you have to do it over and over again, you increase the risk of putting a foot wrong and bringing the whole thing crashing down on you. Yeah, just like Noel did. When compared to other animals, humans really do leave a lot to be desired when it comes to their physical abilities. The grating noise grows fainter and fainter with each giant step I descend. Even though this place is about as far from the station as the park was, it seems that the noise from downtown can't penetrate its depths. My trousers are caked with dirt by the time I reach the bottom. When I look around, all I can see is the night sky and the remains of the shattered building. I hadn't noticed it before, but this place isn't a completely barren wasteland. The columns that supported the underground chapel are still standing, as are a number of large piles of rubble. Somehow managing to push my overworked legs forward, I arrive at the epicenter of the collapse. I can't take another step. As soon as I arrive at the clearing, I collapse to my knees. The rest of my body also threatens to topple forward, but I catch myself with my hands, ending up on all fours. It's like I'm prostrating myself. In a sense, it's an appropriate pose for me right now. My body feels hot. However, I don't feel like I'm going to lose myself anymore. I'm sure that, because I attacked Gohaku-san, my urges have temporarily subsided. Gastric juices well up in my throat. A bitter taste pervades my mouth. I haven't eaten anything today, so the only thing I could vomit out was my acidic gastric juices. What I've done is unforgivable, no matter how much I apologize. No, even just the act of apologizing itself is unforgivable. I don't think she's dead. I don't think I killed her. But how is that supposed to make me feel any better? The fact that I at least did the bare minimum that could be expected of a human. How many days ago was it now? When I was wallowing in despair after killing Arcueid. It was Ciel-senpai that saved me. She taught me that this world isn't divided into those who have sinned and those who have not, but those who can atone and those who cannot. But what should I do? How can I atone for the sins I have unjustifiably visited on others, for the wounds I have unfairly inflicted on their hearts? She's here? All of a sudden, a darkness descends on me. A long shadow cast by the moonlight falls across my body. Tap, tap. I hear the rasping sound of hard soles scraping against the stone. Someone's heading in my direction. She really came. Warmth returns to my worn-out body. Wanting nothing more than to see Senpai's face, I tilt my head back to gaze up at the night sky. It's Ciel, right? Right? Oh yeah, it is Ciel, and look at her now. She got that big-ass weapon. That's not the powered bunker, is it? Looks different. And also, is that a command spell on that thing? Oh shit. She is ready for war. But the sight that greets me isn't the woman that I know at all. It's someone with a completely different look in their eyes. This outfit isn't her school uniform, nor is it her nun's habit. Her gaze is ice cold, like she's just caught sight of something disgusting. Her arms are bare, and on her hands she's wearing those sort of thick gloves that you use when handling heavy weapons. That's the bow, isn't it? I think so. Like the big bow she uses in her last arc? I think so. But the thing that's really out of place here is the massive steel clutched in those hands. It's the same weapon she used in the battle against Vlav, a weapon she only wields against someone she seriously intends to kill. A colossal gun with a blade that easily measured over a meter. Oh, so it is a bow bunker? Doesn't look the same as I saw before. Unless I'm just tripping. Oh, maybe she has like other weapons in the back. Maybe that's why I'm so confused about that. Okay. I know what this is. Even though I've never seen it before, my mind still knows exactly what this weapon is. It's a miracle-made manifest, artificially created by the Holy Church. It was forged 1,000 years ago, in a time when phantasmals still roamed the surface of the earth. They used a young girl to lure in one of those rare beasts, then cast both of them into a furnace and used the flames to temper a divine steel, forming a scripture that would serve as a new conceptual weapon. All the causes of death that man could ever bear have been inscribed across its surface. Thus, the divine steel's resonant frequency chants a baptism that cautions against these odds. There are many scriptures that can chant, but none so effective against the prolonging of life as this one. It is known as the seventh scripture, a relic created by the Holy Church to demonstrate the power of the Lord. However, it sat idle for many years for want of someone to wield it. Oh, look at that expression. Holy shit. Her gaze remains cold. There's no trace of warmth in her voice either. A shiver runs down my spine. It happened for no reason whatsoever. No, that's not right. I reflexively jumped away from Senpai because both my instincts and reason were screaming that I was in danger. Her lips still pressed into a firm line, she takes another step forward, approaching me with her ominous weapon in hand. I feel nauseous at her advance. That weapon is terrifying. I feel like I'm about to break down crying. Simply looking at it is even enough to make me lose sight of my own superiority, even though my body is striving to rebuild itself into something greater. In the face of that weapon, my transformation only works against me. But even more terrifying than her weapon is the way she's calmly striding toward me. I mean, there are no openings whatsoever in her stance. No matter what I try to do, defeat is inevitable. Even with my 5 senses, as heightened as they are right now, I don't see any way I can possibly get the upper hand. If I make one wrong move while trying to escape, if I turn my back to her and try to run away, that thing will pierce my heart, and I'll be annihilated without being able to reincarnate. All I wanted was to see her.
分かっています。ロアの意識が浮上しているんでしょう。なら、もう手遅れです。
Tap. She saunters forward another step. The way she is approaching me.
おかしいよ、先輩。それじゃまるで俺を殺そうとしているみたいじゃないか。
All she does is size up which part of my body she should aim for to ensure my death.
先輩。
She's serious. She's seriously intent on killing me. Gah. My nerves are screaming at me, sensing that I'm about to be killed. My spinal cord lets out a rattling shriek. My autonomic nerves are stretched almost to their breaking point. But it isn't the fear of death that weighs heaviest on me. It's that I honestly can't believe she would ever say something so horrible. I don't understand.
先輩が俺のために残ってくれるって
Gotta do what you must, I guess. The executor suddenly stops in her tracks. With her gaze still fixed on me, she lets out a chuckle.
あなたの人の良さは国宝級ですね。人を信じるのは結構ですが、もう少し冷静に物事を考えられたのなら逃げおせることもできたのに。大体私がなぜ生徒として学校に紛れ込んでいたのか、その理由を一度も考えなかったんですか、あなたは。私が好きで学生の真似事をしていたと本気で思っていたんですか。
Showing her true colors.
私の目的はロアを消滅させることです。あなたの学校に潜入したのはロアの転生体がいると狙いをつけたから。その確証を得るために転生体の様子を見ていただけ。
Wait. Please. Wait. I'm begging you. Please stop. You can detest me for being Roa. You can detest me for being the scum of the earth. Go right ahead. It's the truth after all. The thought sends shivers down my spine. But even so, I can accept it. Senpai kills vampires for the sake of humans. I've seen her do it plenty of times. That's why I can accept it. If I ended up turning into a blank, then it's only natural that she would try to kill me. But even so, after what she just said, I don't want to hear her say anything more. If she breaks the truth to me right now, I'm sure that it would destroy me.
もう分かっているでしょう。私が誰を標的にし、誰を憎み、誰を追い詰めていたのか。ロアを殺すには単純に転生体を殺してはいけない。まず完全に覚醒してもらう必要がある。半分しか覚醒していない時に殺しては半分しか殺せませんから。それもこれで決着です。まったくノエルのせいで台無しになるところでした。ここまで周到に追い込んだのですから、完全に起きてもらうまでは泳がせてあげないと。もっと
That makes sense.
あの時殺したくて仕方がなかったのは私も同じですけどね。
My voice won't come out. Not even as I strain my throat so hard I feel it could explode. She just said that she wanted to kill me. That she's wanted to kill me even before I started losing my mind. Ever since that time she reassured me I wasn't Roa.
嘘だ。先輩は俺をずっと守ってくれた。
そう見えましたか。単に観察していただけですよ。まあ確かに間違いはありました。人格的にあなたはロアとは思えない。転生体は当の秋葉の方ではないのか。ノエルもそう意見してきました。ですがそれはありえない。ロアの転生先は遠野家の長男なんですから。しかし確信はあっても確証はなかった私はあなたの調査を続けなくてはならなくなった。
Ciel Senpai's voice is matter of fact. I'm at a loss for words.
調べてみればあなたは7年前に大怪我をして親戚の家に預けられている。遠野家に引き取られた養子が消えたのもこの時期です。この記録にたどり着いた時私は安堵しました。当の指揮はロアではない。いいえ違いますね。正確に言えば当の指揮が今ロアでなくても合点がいくと。
Senpai's gaze softens ever so slightly. This was my only chance, the only opening she will ever show. However, I'm so busy trying to piece together what she's just said that I'm completely missed my chance to make a move.
どういうことですか。先輩は俺がロアじゃないって
思いません。くだらない憶測はやめなさい。あなたがロアである結論は変わらないんですから。いいですか。 7年前の遠野家で何があったのか知りませんが、あなたは遠野家の長男に殺された。いえ、命を奪われたんでしょうね。その結果、あなたはロアの転生先である人間とつながってしまった。戸籍を消され、存在を抹消された養子はあなたに
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. That's what I was confused upon. Like, oh, yeah, there was the adopted son that disappeared, but isn't Shiki the adopted son?
あな
Yeah.
たは遠野家という怪物たちの家に引き取られ、その長男に殺された都合のいいマリオネットに過ぎない。吸血鬼に消費されて捨てられたどこの誰とも知らない子供、それがあなたの正体です。
Senpai's voice is cold and dispassionate. I don't care if what she says is true. It's all in the past. It has nothing to do with me now. It's something else that slumped my brain and robbed me of the ability to think. The fact that the person standing before me isn't the senpai I thought I knew. In other words, this is who Ciel senpai really is, which means the person who was kind to me was nothing more than a...
事情は計りかねますが、その後、遠野家長男は表舞台にいられなくなり、地下に隠れ住むことになった。その代役として、あなたは長男として生かされることになった。ロアの転生体に命を奪われたものの、一命を取り留めた人間として。これまで、彼を通じてロアの記憶が流れ込んでくることもあったでしょう。もともと魂という形にできないものを加工した吸血鬼です。ロアにとってみれば、生命力を共有したことのあるあなたたちは都合のいい二重のよりしろだった。だから長男の肉体が滅んでもロアは次の転生先に行く必要がない。この時代にはまだあなたという避難先があったんですから。
She feels so distant. She's glaring at me with hatred in her eyes, as if she were staring down an enemy.
でも、それもこれで終わりです。あの夜は突然のことで準備ができませんでしたが、今夜は違います。ロアはあなたに逃げ込み、今度こそ完全に覚醒した。紆余曲折ありましたが、当初の計画通り、やっとあなたを殺せます。
Her gaze shifts to my chest. Her frigid eyes are fixed on it, as if declaring that that's where she'll run me through.
そんなの嘘だ。
Steadying my racing heart, I look up at her.
どうぞ勝手に否定してそこでほうけていてください。その方が私の仕事も楽になります。もっとも
A menacing clank issues from her weapon.
あなたがその気になったとしても楽に始末できることに変わりはありませんけどね、ロア。
Dang, she's not even addressing him as Shiki anymore. Crazy. I don't sense any deceit in her words. Her eyes are not looking at me. She never had any feelings about me from the very beginning.
なんだよそれ。それじゃあ先輩は初めからロアは俺だって当たりをつけてたのか。先輩が俺を助けてくれたのは、学校で出会うのが楽しいと言っていたのは全部。
I can't say it. I can't say the rest. Because the moment I put it into words, everything that happened between us will become a lie.
みっともない。何言葉を濁しているんですか。ええ、信じられないなら私から言ってあげましょうか。すべて作り事ですよ。私があなたを助け学校に残ったのはロアをいぶり出すためです。
And there it is. I couldn't just disappear and leave you behind now, could I? Senpai said those words with a smile. But she didn't say them for my sake. She only stayed behind because she knew Roll was still alive and needed to search for him. On top of that, I practically gave myself up by willingly reaching out to my own pursuer. So even then, yeah. Even that moment, even the night she saved me, even those tragic, pitiful eyes of hers. You a damn good actor, Ciel, you know that? That's right, Shiki. It wasn't anything special, was it? Those memories aren't anything to get worked up about. You just loved her. And you thought she loved you back. That's all. All of it. Nothing more than fantasy given form by an edifice of lies. In that case, fine. There's no need to even laugh. If that's who she truly is, then I too will use any means at my disposal in order to ensure my survival.
納得いった。けどさ、先輩。どうして先輩にはロアが生きているってわかるんだ。どうして遠野家の長男がロアの転生先だと確信したんだ。
わかりますよ。だって自分のことなんですから。
She nonchalantly utters something incomprehensible.
自分のこと。
ええ。遠野という血筋を探し当てて、それを次の転生先に選んだのは私です。
Say that again?
実際にロアの意識が浮上しないと現れたとわかりませんか？
Come again?
あまり役に立つ記憶ではありませんでしたけど。
先輩、何を言ってるんですか？一体。
何って、ちょっとした昔話です。今から13年前、あなたと同じように何も知らなかった子供がいました。彼女がその衝動に汚染されたのは12歳の頃。それまで何も、その子はあなたみたいに特別な力なんてありませんでしたから、本当に何も知らないまま普通に暮らしていたんです。お父さんの手伝いをして学校に行って、早起きするのが苦手で、お父さんの手伝いをするのはいつも夕方からのお店番でしたけど、それでも将来はお父さんのお店を受け継ごうと思ってたんですね。
Something just flashed before my eyes. A scene that felt intimately familiar, even though I'd never seen it before. Her story seems awfully similar to that dream I had.
でも、その子の夢は叶わなかった。当たり前のようにあった幸せを自分の手で壊してしまったんです。その子はロアの転生体でしたから。少女の体はすごく才能があるってロアは喜んでましたっけ？その子も今のあなたみたいにそれなりに努力はしたんですけど、無駄な努力でした。結局お父さんとお母さんの血を吸って町の人たちを笑いながら殺していって、その子、その時に気が触れてしまったのかもしれませんね。ほら、わかるでしょ、遠野くん。
They share the same experience.
あれって止めようがないんです。やめようとかいけないとか、そういう考えさえ浮かばなくなる。おかしいですよね。ちゃんと自分の意識はあるっていうのに。
That story. Don't tell me it's...
でも悪夢は割合早く終わりました。白い吸血鬼がやってきて ロアの心臓を貫いたから。
Yeah, I know the story. After that, the girl passed away, and Roa reincarnated into the person known as Shiki. But that's...
けどその子死にきれなかったんです。
She only said a few words, but those few words dripped with contempt.
少女の死体は教会に運ばれて、吸血死から人間に戻った死体のサンプルとして保存されました。けどさっきも言った通り、その子の体はすごく特殊な体で、人並み以上の蘇生能力があったんです。その子は6年経ったある日、よせばいいのに死から目覚めてしまった。おかしいですよね。ロアという魂に見捨てられた抜け殻のくせに生き返っちゃうとか。その後は大変でした。教会の人たちは異端者であるその子を何度も何度も殺すんですけど、どうやっても死なないんです。その子は半年間毎日殺されるだけの生活を送ったんですよ。
An undying body. A body that always restores itself, no matter what it has done to it. Who else could she possibly be talking about? It must have been painful. Even though Senpai can recover from any injury, her face warps in agony every time she's wounded. You're telling me she did that for half a year? For half a year, every single day of her life consisted solely of being killed and coming back to life.
それでですね、教会の人たちもいくらなんでもこれはおかしいって気がついてくれました。対処できない問題、解決できない問題はみんな埋葬機関っていうところに回されるんです。
A familiar name.
そこでその子は自分がどうなってしまったのか教えられました。まあ要するにその子は矛盾しているんです。その子はロアとして生まれた人間です。たとえ12歳までの人格が少女のものであっても、魂の名前はロアなんです。その子はその子でありながらロアでもある。だからロアが生きているのにロアであるその子が死んでいては矛盾している。この世界はわずかなほころびがあれば、世界が世界自身のためにそのほころびを修復します。ですからその子はロアという転生する魂が消えない限り永遠にあり続けてしまう。
That's our whole goal.
他の誰でもない
Kill Roa so she can
この
die.
世界が勝手に直してしまうんです。司祭様は輪から外れていると言いました。局長は認証エラーだ。ロアのアドレスを消さない限りお前は一生人間社会にログインすることも、かといってログアウトも許可されないとも言いましたっけ。
That's a good analogy.
その子はロアが生きている限り永遠に止まったまま。年を取ることもできませんから寿命では死ねませんし、消し済みにしても時間が巻き戻って元に戻ってしまう。そんな怪物、本来ならずっと幽閉されたままでしょうけど、その子はロアだった頃の魔術の知識とか受け継いでいたんです。埋葬機関は利用価値があると言ってその子を対向者に推薦してくれました。そうして抜け殻はかつての名前を捨てて吸血鬼を退治するための生き方を選んだんです。
Yeah, it's literally like the moment, when they were sharing their life stories, that all this was hidden in that conversation, in that tea ceremony room that one time. So yeah, this is her true origin.
私はロアの主であるアルクエイドよりもロアという魂がどこにいるかを知覚することができます。その理由はもう言うまでもないでしょう。
She's right. It's obvious why. It's just that I don't want to admit it.
前に言いましたよね、遠野くん。私が何のためにロアを殺すのか。何が欲しくて吸血鬼を殺すのか。
All because I want to die as a human. At the time, I didn't grasp what she meant. But what about now? Can I at least begin to understand how she feels?
できない。
Yeah, as frustrating as it is, I'll never be able to understand. I don't know what it feels like to be in so much pain that I'd rather die. There have been times in life where I've struggled to keep on going, but I've never truly wished for death from the bottom of my heart. However, to her, death is her sole wish, her sole salvation. I've never experienced it. I've never experienced the anguish of killing someone I love with my own two hands. I hope it stays that way for the rest of my life. But she's already been through it. That's why she wants to die, so she can finally be at peace.
違う。そんなのは違う。
違わないですよ。私は人並みに死にたいだけなんですから。
Senpai's voice is completely devoid of any semblance of warmth. All I can do is hang my head. Because her wish, along with the suffering she feels, are both things that I've come to know.
いや。
I won't accept it. I won't accept the situation I'm in, and I won't accept Ciel Senpai's wish. Not even a nightmare would be this bereft of salvation. But reality is unforgiving and cannot be ignored. The hands of a clock can never tick backwards. Without uttering even the slightest sound, the executor known as Ciel steps forward in order to kill me. She has no more words to say, and there remains nothing that needs to be said. Her hands are wrapped around the trigger of her weapon. The seventh scripture is made up of several causes of death given form, but its essence lies in soul-shattering. The concept of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, does not exist in the doctrine of the Holy Church. After death, a person will be judged based on the deeds they have committed in their lifetime, and will either be damned to hell or permitted into heaven. None shall be allowed to be reborn into the world once more. Imagine if fucking Noelle is just watching all this and then just suddenly interrupts her. Like when she's ready to kill Shiki. Like, that'd be hilarious, right? Such is the doctrine that lies at the heart of the scripture of reincarnation condemnation. The punishment of death by condemnation, administered via pile bunker. If that thing hits me, my very soul will be vaporized into nothingness. I get it. It's all about the order of operations. Even if 15 Quins used that pile bunker on herself, she would still be restored as long as Rove exists. No matter what weapon she uses, or what manner of suicide she attempts, she won't be able to die unless she eliminates Rove first. She raises the point of her gun. The tip is coming in my direction. For some reason, it's moving slowly. She, Executor Ciel, should be capable of finishing me off before I can even realize that I've been stabbed. There's no time to think. I escape forward, escape backwards. A decision here of all places? Oh my god. Fuck, I feel like both of them is just gonna lead to the same conclusion, but let's try backward. Why not? I immediately leap backwards. Feeling threatened, I hastily retreat from Senpai. My jump managed to put me at least a couple meters between the two of us. But I'm the only one taken by surprise. Senpai doesn't bat an eyelid at my sudden retreat, and pounces after me with her bile bunker at the ready. I sprint toward the edge of the pit, toward the cliff that leads to the surface. My body feels terrifyingly light. I'm running like the wind. Nothing can catch me if I'm going this fast. Suddenly, even though my brain hasn't stopped sending signals to my muscles, even though there's nothing blocking my path, even though nothing acted directly on my body, I'm brought to a deep stop. I try and lift my feet to take another step forward, but I can't. I can't twist them to the sides either. My feet are completely glued to the ground. Ah, she set up a little barrier, I think, yeah. I look over my shoulder. There's a black key sticking out of the ground just behind me. And there, pinned beneath it, is my shadow. It seems like that's the reason my feet are frozen in place. I strain my legs as hard as I can. Try as I might, they don't budge so much as a millimeter. I feel like a dog caught in a bear trap. And then...
浅はかですね。逃げるにしても、もう少しうまいやり方があったでしょうに。
The executor codenamed Bo appears before me.
先輩。
体まで吸血鬼化しているあなたを外に出すわけにはいきません。ここでその魂を断罪します。
The pile bunker sizes me up. A predator careful not to startle its prey. In one smooth motion, the executor vanishes from my sight.
さようなら。せめてこれで。
She whispers to herself in a voice so faint I can hardly hear it. Jamming the tip of her weapon against the vampire's heart, she pulls the trigger that heralds its denunciation. The sound of an explosion reverberates through my body like the peal of church bells. Blood spurts violently out of my mouth. I see a flash of light, as if the core of my brain had gone critical. As I fade away together with the glow, I catch the sight of a soul, unwaveringly and scattering into the wind like pages of a worn-out book. So that's it? Yep. Got it. I'm kind of curious what the Teach Me Ciel is like. Let's see it. Oh, the black key in front. Funny. Okay, you good? Oh, there you are.
ヒロインとの殺し合いは初めてか？まあ落ち着けよボーイ。悲しいけどこれがシエルなんだ。容赦のないスパイシーモンスターなんだ。主人公におかれましてはあと 2,3 回くらい。ちょっとコンビニ行くくらいの気持ちでデッドエンドを迎えていただければ。
そうですね。経験に敵に背中を見せてはいけません。
Got it.
撤退するなら、
RPG.
せ
That's
めて
cute.
相手の体勢くらいは崩しておきましょう。
Dang, look at that HP and MP. It's all 7s. Meanwhile, Shiki, HP 40, MP 20. Hilarious.
ガラ空きの背中なんてただの的ですから、スピードで負けているならなおさらです。戦闘経験は相手の方が圧倒的に上なので、ここは奇抜な発想。あるいは決死の選択で立ち向かってください。大丈夫。ここを切り抜ければきっとチャンスはありますよ。
It's kind of crazy that you're like complimenting all this. You know, you of all people.
この圧倒的戦力差ですげえこと言ってんなこのインド。生きろメガネ。
12 seconds later.
Escape forward. I break out of my crouch and into a full-on sprint. I have a feeling that if I tried to run away, she'd run my heart through the moment I turned my back on her. The barrel of her gun whips past just millimeters from my face. Thankfully, my hunched posture and close proximity are working to my advantage. After avoiding the gun leveled at my face by a hair's breadth, I slide my foot along the ground and shift my weight to the side. If I kept charging in a straight line, it just resulted in a head-on collision. I considered tackling her to the ground, but then thought better of it. I'm dealing with someone who's able to swing that colossal weapon around with one hand. Getting into a grappling match with her would be suicide. I'll twist my body to the side slightly and slip through her flank. Just as I'm about to slip past her, Senpai abruptly turns on a dime. She's moving so quickly that it creates the illusion that her body has vanished into thin air. Wrestling her massive gun into submission with nothing but sheer brute strength, she plants her leg and sends it swerving in a horizontal arc. The thrum it makes as it cuts through the air reverberates inside my head. The next thing I know, I'm crashing back first into a pile of rubble several meters away from her. She irritably clicks her tongue and glares at me. My left arm hurts. I can't even comprehend what I'm looking at. Everything below my left elbow has been twisted into a jagged mess. On top of that, all the flesh from the tips of my fingers all the way up to my shoulder had been scraped away, like it was scoured off by some enormous file. It doesn't feel real. My body must have reflexively blocked her horizontal swing, while I was still struggling to think what to do. And so this is the result. My forearm has been completely pulverized, and half of the flesh on my arm has been stripped clean off. Seeing my own body brutally torn to shreds like this is terrifying. But what's even more terrifying is that despite sustaining all these gruesome injuries, I still haven't lost consciousness. She gazes at her prey with a bored look on her face. She's looking down on me. Senpai is looking down on me, as if to say that she could kill me at any time. It hurts. My nerves have finally started to relay just how injured I really am. It's like the blood from my broken arm has turned into a poison that's pumping directly into my brain. The pain blots out my consciousness, painting it over with white. Senpai is staring at me expressionlessly. So this is what it's like to have half your arm grated off. Does she even know how much it hurts? How dare she? How dare she? How dare she belittle me? I grab my knife out of my pocket. A dull click vibrates through my hand. With the sound of metal skating against metal, I extend the blade of my knife. They're really fighting! The next instant she's gone. Senpai's body has winked out of existence. No, that's not right. She just disappeared from my field of view by dropping so low to the ground that she was almost lying on it, then leapt up again when she was already right in front of me. Just like a lizard scurrying across the ground. In the blink of an eye, she's covered the 6 meters that stood between us. Even though I know that she's already right in front of me, I still can't get a visual lock on her body. I reflexively jerk my head backwards. As I do, I shift my gaze down towards my feet. Before I can even finish my near instantaneous movement, The point of her gun slams up into me from below, skewering my throat with admirable precision. Breathing, I'm still breathing. The pain, do I still feel pain? I do. It's still coming through. My consciousness, am I still awake? Great, I guess I still am. My body, is my body alright? No, something's wrong. Dark blood spews forth. It's gushing out from the gaping hole in my left shoulder. Just then, the point of Senpai's gun missed my throat and buried itself in my left shoulder instead. It hurts. It hurts more than I could ever have imagined. But I'm still alive. I don't know how, but I'm still alive. Where am I? It looks like I've been separated from Senpai again. I can smell the acrid scent of gunpowder wafting from my shoulder. She must have pulled the trigger the instant she skewered me with the point of her gun. The impact blew me away, and in doing so, she opened the distance between us again.
2度続くということは偶然ではありませんね。その出血でもショック死しないということは精神だけでなく肉体まで変態済みなのでしょう。
I hear a dull crash. The spiked rod slides out of her weapon and smashes into the ground. The stake that just ran through me bursts into a cloud of pages and scatters. That weapon is total bullshit. But bullshit or not, it's absolutely terrifying. So terrifying that just looking at it makes me want to get down on my hands and knees and tearfully beg for forgiveness. My shoulder is burning up. Pain blazes through my body like wildfire. It feels like I'm inside an incinerator hot enough to reduce even my bones to ash. The voice of Blank is speaking to me inside my head. It warns me that her weapon is an instrument of torture, the lightest touch of which is enough to inject a lethal poison into my body. So, I'm going to die. Even though I'm undead, I'm still going to die. No matter what I do, my death is certain. My brain lights up with flashes of fear, pain, confusion, and anxiety. Am I afraid of death? Am I afraid of being killed? Am I afraid of experiencing the excruciating agony of death? Or am I afraid of being killed by a weapon so terrifying it makes me want to get down on my hands and knees and tearfully beg for forgiveness? I don't know. I can't afford to think about it, because that would mean taking my eyes off that ruthless executor and the weapon clutched in her hands. I hear the sound of something latching into place. She loads the next round and cocks her weapon. 2 times. The fact that I somehow managed to survive that weapon's onslaught 2 times is nothing short of a miracle. There's no doubt that this next one... I picture the point of her gun blasting right through my face, its iron spike penetrating through the bridge of my nose and erupting out the back of my skull. It's more repulsive than it is frightening. Death, no matter what form it takes, it's something that is unsightly, foul, and repulsive. I cherish my own life dearly, so I don't want to meet that fate. Is that why I'm afraid? I don't know. From the bottom of my heart, I despise the fact that I don't know. Despite all the time I've spent staring death in the face, I've never thought about all the vile toxicity that drips from it. I've only ever looked at death as an outcome, never as a process. So there exists something worse than death. My mind had been totally preoccupied with whether or not Senpai was about to suddenly attack me and tear me apart. I'd completely forgotten to consider the possibility of a life even more dreadful than death. The pain in my shoulder snaps me back to reality. None of that matters to me right now. I have to run. If I don't want to die, then I should focus all of my attention on running away.
メガネ外さないんですか？
She suddenly utters something completely unexpected. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. If I took off my glasses, I'd be able to see her lines. And if I looked at those, there's a chance I might accidentally end up killing her.
何を言うんですか、先輩は。
That expression. Her anger is so fierce, it feels like it could ignite the atmosphere around her.
付き合っていられません。いいですから。もう死んでください。
Senpai leans forward. Here she comes. She's clearly going to rush me again, but I can't even track her movements, let alone fight back. I have no choice but to run. Luckily, we're farther apart now than we were before. If I run as fast as I can, I should be able to retreat amongst the rubble. It's hard to get a clear view once you're down among the rubble, so if I can make it there, all I can do is slip into a crevice and hide. The underground chapel itself may have been partially destroyed, but some of the catacombs that surrounded it should still be standing. Here goes. I just have to make it to the rubble. Oh shit. My back. Something's lodged in my back. My body tumbles forward and slams into the ground. Just a little further. A little further and I'd have been able to escape amongst the rubble. I push myself back up onto my feet. The thing that's lodged in my back is one of those nail-shaped blades that executors use. I rip it out with all my strength. The tip of the blade cut deep enough that it's poking out of my chest. So in a fit of rage, I just pull the whole thing all the way through. Thankfully, I don't need to worry about the pain. My ability to feel it ceased up ages ago. Now I can finally escape into the maze of the rubble.
逃げてどうするつもりですか、遠野くん。
But before I can, Senpai speaks to me from behind.
まだわからないんですか。あなたは今どのくらいの速さで走ったと思っているんです。致命傷を受けてどうして死なないでいるんです。あなたは箱の中のマウスと変わらない。なのにまだ何から逃げ出そうと言うんですか。
I look at the blade I just pulled out. It pierced straight through my chest, but the wound has already stopped bleeding. I'm already completely inhuman at this point. My consciousness goes blank. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Hasn't she been deceiving you this entire time? Don't listen to her. If you listen to her, you'll die. Just ignore her. Don't accept it. Even if it's the truth, just brush it aside and fight back.
もうどこにも逃げ場なんてないんです。あなたには戦うか殺されるかの道しかない。けれど戦うことができないのなら、あと
She takes one step, then another. My executioner inches closer, careful to make sure I can hear every approaching footstep.
せめてあがいたらどうですか。私を殺せば一日は生きながらえる。そんなありえない希望を見ながら無様に死ぬのがあなたにはお似合いです。今さら格好つけなくていいですよ。
That look on your face with this color, oh my god.
あなたは無邪気に目の前の餌に飛びついて自滅するんですから。ほら、学校ではいつだってそうしていたでしょ。
やめろって言ってるだろ。
I jump. Even though my back, shoulder, and arm are all but destroyed, I leap into the air as though it's the easiest thing in the world. With my breath coming in ragged gasps, I bound to the top of the 20-meter-tall ruined building with speed that would rival even Senpai's. run. My mind is blank. I'm propelled by nothing but the primal urges to escape. But even that can only carry me so far. Maybe it's because I'm out of breath, or maybe it's because I've lost all feeling in my shredded left hand. I trip over myself and collapse sprawling onto the ground. The wound on my back is already healed, but the same can't be said for the gaping holes in my left arm and shoulder. It seems like there really is something peculiar about that pile bunker. I have no idea how I can counter a weapon like that. All I do know is that I can't move the left side of my body properly. I feel like an idiot as I flail around with the right side of my body in an attempt to get back on my feet. I unceremoniously heave myself onto my back, drag myself across the floor until I reach a wall, and use it to maneuver myself into a sitting position. I've managed to prop myself up a bit, but that's about all I can manage. I tilt my head back, leaving my throat exposed and defenseless, and take a deep breath.
Tsuki.
When I look up, I see the moonlight streaming through a hole in the wall. Maybe it's because I'm mentally and physically spent, but my vision is hazy, and everything in sight seems strangely insubstantial. Ah, I see. It really doesn't matter at all whether I'm real or not. After all, I'm a fundamentally insubstantial existence myself. I've been an ill-defined somebody lacking an identity outside of the name Shiki from the very beginning. I feel a flash of pain in my shoulder. On the other hand, if my own identity had been as real as this pain, would any of this have ever happened? I lived my whole life thinking that I was Shiki, but that turned out to be someone else. I'm a nobody, an adopted child from who knows where. But what does it matter? It's tragic, but that's all there is to it. I feel no regret, no hatred. However, the fact that I never knew I was an adopted child, and that I remember nothing about my life before I became Shiki, is so tragic it's almost comical. For you see, it's perfect proof that I truly am a nobody. There's only a single, solitary moon in the night sky. It's so mysterious. I don't know why I didn't notice it before. The moon. So...
けど、笑うのはちょっと難しい。
It's comical, but it isn't the least bit funny. In the end, was there ever any meaning to my existence? It's absurd to think that I'm really about to fade away without even knowing the first thing about myself. It's absurd just how vague and uncertain my whole existence is. This world of visible death, of perceivable death. It was 7 years ago that I met Sensei. Thanks to her, I've been able to live a normal life. Even now, I can confidently say that it was room for us to meet.
でもさ、先生。俺は生きてちゃいけない人間だったみたいだ。
I should probably take my own life while I'm still capable of making that judgment. But I can't do it. I can't just up and kill myself. It may be pathetic, and it may be a mistake, but even so, I want to live. Because if I die, then everything will become nothing but lies. I want to live, no matter how sinful my life may be, or how many things I end up losing. I want to live. As long as I had her, as long as I had Ciel senpai, I didn't care if I ended up losing everything. That's the sole purpose for which I have kept on living, but that too is over. It's been 6 years, though whether that's a long time or a short time, I couldn't say.
嘘つき。
I didn't want to hear her say those words. You have my thanks, Tono-kun. With this, my work is over. All that remains for me is to fulfill my remaining responsibilities.
嘘。
She's a liar, but maybe there was a hint of truth in her words after all. I mean, even though she's been deceiving me all this time, she's never... Yes, thank you for everything. It's been a long time since I last felt this happy, so let's shake hands one last time.
おう嘘つき
But she's never lied to me, not even once. Please stay good friends with Inui-kun even after I'm gone, okay? I wish I could have been the kind of student you two are. Even so, her very existence is built on lies. I can't bring myself to believe that her smile was also a lie. But, well, reality isn't always pleasant. The character named Ciel-senpai was all an act. This means to get close to me so that she could eventually kill me. I was tricked. She never genuinely opened herself up to me. Even the time she helped me when I was at my lowest. Even when we hung out killing time together outside of class. It was all just her trying to confirm whether or not I was Rua. I grit my teeth. My molars groan under the pressure.
畜生
I claw at the wall in frustration. That's right. I was tricked. She only ever got close to me as a means to an end.
それなのに
I claw at the wall in sorrow. Yeah. Even despite all that,
俺は先輩を憎めない
and still have feelings for her after all that. Wild to me. How could I ever hate her? Even if it was all an act for her, I still had lots of fun. That, if nothing else, is true. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since we first met, and yet, this is the happiest I've been my entire life.
畜生
But as it turns out, it was all just my own little fantasy. My eyelids are beginning to droop. I feel no hatred, no anger, only a regret so intense it ties my stomach into knots. My vision is starting to blur. Far above me, the moon gleams a radiant white. Below, a tranquil ocean of gray rubble. Everything is swaying and flickering. It's all just lies, an illusion that vanishes when you try and get too close. Like a mirage that will forever remain out of reach. That's the title of the chapter. Tap, tap. The rasping sound of footsteps echoes across the ocean floor. Backlit by moonlight, the adjudicator casts a long shadow across the desolate ground. There's no doubt that this is the end. She'll reach me at any moment now. I've been through a lot, but I finally made up my mind. Well, if this is it, then...
殺すか
I take a deep breath, and when I speak again, the voice that comes out of my mouth is not my own. If you don't want to die, then kill her. If you think that you're not in the wrong, then kill her. Hurry up and kill her already. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Kill. 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 It seems like this is really the end for me. My thoughts are starting to get all scrambled up again. But the point stands, I don't want to die. And if I don't want to die, then there's only one thing left to do. Tap tap. Her footsteps are getting louder. My final moments draw closer and closer. Aren't you going to take off your glasses? She asked me that even knowing what it implies. In that case, I will take off my glasses, won't take off my glasses. God damn it, these decisions. Alright, will take off my glasses, won't take off my glasses. Man, I feel like at this point, there's no point in delaying it. I guess it's inevitable. Alright, let's just pull off the band-aid. It can all go. So what if it all fades into illusion? I grip my knife firmly and stand up. The sound of footsteps grows louder and louder, a sure sign that the enemy is approaching. With every step, I hear the voice of someone echoing inside my head. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill.
黙れ。
Keeping a strong grip on myself, I forcefully silence the voice inside my head.
これは俺が決めたことだ。
Kill
お前に指図される言われはない。
her
シエルに殺されたくないのなら、
now.
終わるまで黙っていろ。
Yeah, I think it's already come to an end. Like, see, if I don't, Ciel is probably gonna kill me anyways, and you know, I think at this point, like, you know, it's no use trying to hold back anymore. Especially not now after that big ass fight. You know, she's going to kill me whether or not I hold back. I think, you know. The voice disappears completely. The footsteps shuffle to a halt, and a shadow falls across the floor. The executor has appeared before me.
ようやく戦う気になったんですね。
Low-key, I thought it was someone else and like we were already gonna pull out a knife and kill them. Like imagine if it was fucking Akia, just like, whoa, I was hearing a lot of sounds and I didn't find you in the mansion. Like, I was like, oh shit, she just pulled a knife out on me and just killed Akia or something. You know. For some reason, she sounds almost relieved.
よかった。これでお互いに罪はありません。互いに殺し合うという条件なら、私たちの罪は相殺されます。あとは、生き残った者に罰が残るだけです。
To cancel out one's sin through one's own death. That concept stems from a world that is alien to me.
けど、残った方の罰は償えるんですか？
ええ。果たすことのできる代償行為を罰と言います。消え去ってくれないものは罪だけです。ですから、そんなもの今さら背負いたくはないでしょう。
She takes a step forward.
それじゃあ、ここで先輩を殺すことは罪じゃないのか？
はい。私はあなたを殺します。だからあなたも私を殺していい。条件は同じです。
Another step. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Not one bit. It's true that I harbor the intent to kill, but it's only because I'm about to be killed and need to fight back to ensure my own survival. The same cannot be said for her. She intended to kill me from the moment she arrived, and of her own volition. That is...
さよなら。これでくだらなかった芝居に幕を下ろしましょう。
She takes one final step. The tip of her POW bunker takes aim at my heart. But before I can make contact, I artlessly stumble forward and take aim at the point on her right lung. I didn't think that I'd be able to kill her. By all rights, her POW bunker should have pierced my heart long before she stepped within range of my knife. Which is why I'm surprised. Surprised that I was able to dodge it and sink my knife into her point with an unassuming thump. So now what?
先輩。
It's as if she deliberately allowed me to stab her.
あなたに私を殺させてしまった。
Her voice is faint, the voice of someone on the verge of death.
それが一番大きな私の罪でした。
Sounding as though she is on the brink of tears, she musters the last of her strength and thrusts her palbunker against my chest. A double KO? Blood spews from my mutilated heart. Coughing up blood, I collapse onto the floor. There, across from me, lies the fallen body of Senpai who died a few moments before me.
なんて
You already knew, didn't you?
愚か。
You knew from the start that if a sin was committed here, it was yours alone to bear. My limbs are starting to go numb. I probably won't last much longer now that my blood stopped flowing. The moment her palbunker pierced me, somewhere within my mind I saw a vision of a worn-out book, its pages slipping from their binding and scattering like petals on the wind. I think that must mean that Roa has vanished without a trace. My mind is completely blank. She has always planned to give her life in order to take mine. Did she think that would serve as some measure of penance? Ridiculous. An act like that carries no meaning at all.
それでも
There's something sad about the fact that she died without apologizing first. A simple sorry is probably all that would have been required to grant her at least some sliver of salvation. Or was she incapable of saying such a simple word? She knew that she couldn't atone for her sins by apologizing, so she refused to do it at all. What determination! The fact that I was the one who drove her to this makes me feel hopelessly. I was in love with her, wasn't I? Even to the very end. She was so precious to me that I'm mourning her even as I stand at death's door. I cough weakly, blood dribbling from my mouth. It's all over now. As I gaze at the moon in a daze, I soon find myself drifting off to sleep, just like I used to during my long-lost childhood. So... end. Okay. Oh, so I probably have to, like, not fight her? Okay.
こんにちは。
Who are you?
ヘモグロビンは足りていますか？そういう結末もありかと一息ついた後の口直しコーナー。教えてシエル先生の時間です。解説は私。
Echo Arc.
エコア
Yeah, you were a summon an Echo Arc uses a melty, right?
コーナーに咲く一輪の花、ネコアルクでお送りします。で、シエルはどこ
Oh
に
yeah, she's dead, so, you
あ
know.
というは何？私と同類、つまりいいところのお嬢さんだっつうのはわかるけど。ほら、こういう同一存在ってお互い認識できないものじゃにゃい？自分とは会話できないみたいな、オルタナティブな関係ってあるでしょ？そういう世界のルールみたいなの、気軽に破るのはやめた方がいいよ。同感です。ですから、私たちはそういうものではない、ということですね。 時間もありませんので、今回の死因について解説をお願いします。下手にちゃちゃ入れるとこの世から消滅しそうなエクサと。コスモ的な圧力釜かな。でもエコだって名乗ってるしな。まあいいか、私の可能性の一つってことで手を打ちますね。
Now you're putting on the
今回の
glasses.
メガネくんの死因はズバリメガネです。メガネキャラがメガネを外していかんだろうという誠に偶話的な教訓ですな。
I see.
なんでメガネを外すと死ぬのかは私にもよくわからん。選択肢がメガネを外すしか選べない方もいるようですが、その場合はこれまでの行動に問題があったんじゃにゃい。やばいのは吸血鬼だけじゃにゃく、メガネくんの心のあり方も瀬戸際ってこと。一度石につまずくとあれよあれよと元に戻っちゃうわけで、中立善と中立悪の綱渡りということですね。
So did a decision like before that, like not give me the choice to do to keep my glasses on?
この先に進めない方は9日目の行動を改めてくれぐ
Ah,
れもノエルの誘いに乗らない。
okay, that's interesting. Okay, all the way back then, huh?
彼
Okay.
の精神状態が悪くなっていると13日目以降の遠野邸の出来事が変わってしまいます。制御できなくなった衝動がある惨劇を起こしてしまう。
So that decision actually came to be pretty important in the end. Okay.
本当
Oh,
かよ。
interesting.
どれどれ、ともむろにフローチャートをカンペする私。うお、本当だよ。解説が具体的すぎて目がツートンになる。なんでそこまで知ってるのか怖いけど、その高い知性、やっぱり私じゃん。教えてシエル先生でした。塩対応にも程がにゃい。
Okay, I got it. Cool. I do adore those little, those little skits, that teach you, like, what decisions you made wrong. So you can, get back on track. I won't take off my glasses. Then what should I do?
できる。
My trembling fingers brush against the frame of my glasses.
できるわけないだろ。そんな真似。
Oh, you know what? Thinking about it now, I mean, you just said that you still loved her, like, despite that, So maybe, like, yeah, not taking off the glasses would be the more rational decision. Yeah, to you at least. In a fit of rage, I cast off the object in my hand. I acted this way because I've hammered into myself that I have to die. The hard object clatters across the floor and disappears into the night. I don't see any lines. The object I hurled away from me was the knife that I had been clutched in my hand. I won't take off my glasses. I won't take them off no matter what. I threw my knife far away for the sole reason that I couldn't trust myself with it anymore. If I kept hold of it, I'm sure I would have done something I'd regret far more than simply dying. Ain't that the truth? And so she arrives. Nothing about her has changed. Her eyes remain emotionless, and she still carries her menacing weapon. She stops just short of where I lie sprawled against the wall. I don't get it. Why hasn't she dealt the killing blow already? We're just staring blankly at each other instead.
一つ聞きますけど、
She points the tip of her gun at my chest.
どうしてメガネを外さなかったんです？どうしてただの一度も私と戦おうとしなかったんです？
どうしてって不思議でもなんでもない。
The thought just never crossed my mind.
そんなひどいこと先輩にはできないだろう。
愚かにも程がある。 私はあなたを殺すんですよ。私はあなたの先輩なんかじゃない。すべて嘘だったって、あれだけ言ってまだわからないんですか？あなたは。
Her voice is scathing. Despite maintaining a calm expression, her extremities are trembling with rage and indignation.
知ってる。先輩はずっと俺を騙してきた。シエル先輩なんていう人は初めから嫌しなかったんだって分かってる。
分かっているなら、どうして？
いいんだ。先輩が嘘でも関係ない。俺はすごく楽しかった。先輩と過ごした時間は先輩にとってはどうでもいい時間だったかもしれないけど、俺にとっては大切だった。
Yeah, by all rights, something like that should have been beyond my reach. Something that I, with my eyes clouded by my fear of the future, death, should never have been able to behold. The sort of prosaic scenery I'd unconsciously given up on. And that's why I don't mind. Even if everything was a lie to her, the truth is that her lie saved me.
だからいいんだ。
These past 2 weeks were really fun. If I were to start hating Senpai now, it would render even that time we spent together meaningless. Even if it was nothing more than a lie to her, that's only one half of the story. Even though I know it's a silly wish to give up on one's life for, I still want that other half, my half, to remain genuine until the very end. That's cool.
そんなことのために命を投げ捨てるんですか？望みはあなたの。
そっか。やっぱり小さいかな。
That said, it's probably still the second most important thing to me right now. I can only think of one thing in the world I'd want more than that wish.
私、いろいろな人を見てきましたけど、
She takes a step closer.
あなたほどバカな人は初めてでした。
She presses the point of her gun up against my heart. So she's still trying to kill me. I don't get it. Why isn't she pulling the trigger? Her eyes seem oddly empty as she gazes down on me. This isn't the first time I've seen that emotionless look in her eyes. That's not to say she's cold-hearted or anything like that. It's just that, try as she might, she's incapable of truly believing the lies she tells herself. Casting off her emotions is her only means of escape. Senpai was right. I really am an idiot. I've only just realized that whenever she gets that look in her eyes, it isn't because she's lying to me. It's because she's trying to lie to herself.
忘れていました。最後に懺悔を聞いておかないといけません。私、これでも神職ですから。
そうですか。懺悔なんてないけど、一つだけ聞いていいかな。
はい。手短にお願いします。
うん、すぐ済む。どうして先輩はそんなに泣きそうな顔してるのかなって。
She knows she doesn't want to kill him. She knows deep down, like even though she's trying to put on a brave front, that oh, I'm only looking after you to see if you're raw or not. I know deep down she really did enjoy the time she had with Shiki. For sure. It's subtle, but I think she just trembled slightly.
私は泣いてなんていません。
Senpai replies with a studiedly ruthless expression on her face. She says that, but now I'm just as confused as she is. Even if she denies it, I can't help but think.
泣きそうな顔に見える。どうしてかわからないけど。
それはあなたの錯覚です。 私は何も感じていませんから。私にある感情は人間として死にたいというものだけです。それ以外の感情なんてない。
That's so sad. Only now that things have come to this am I able to see through her lies. The irony is crushing.
ひどいな。最後まで先輩は俺に嘘をつくのか。
No words. She doesn't answer. Senpai is motionless, as though frozen in place.
あなたこそ嘘をついてる。ここで私に殺されることが望みなんて思ってはいないでしょう。
当然だろ、そんなの。死んだら何もないじゃないか。一応経験があるからそれぐらいは分かってる。本音を言えば生きていたいけど、ただ生きているのはもうダメらしくて。
Yeah, it's hopeless. Even if I somehow managed to make it out of this alive, there'd be no future for me. The human named Tonoshiki would disappear, and I'd go on to repeat the same atrocities that Senpai has already experienced. Something even more important would also disappear. In that world, Senpai would be gone. A life like that wouldn't be worth living.
今まですごく楽しかったんだ、先輩。有彦と俺と先輩でバカな話をしている時は悪くなかった。ただの休み時間でも先輩が来てくれるだけで夢みたいに楽しかった。
Which is why, right now, that's what I desire. That's my purpose. Even if it could never come true.
俺はずっとあのままの時間が続いてほしかった。
The moment I say those words, my heart is at peace. I don't care if it's just an unobtainable illusion. I don't even care if I'm chasing a mirage that's never truly existed in the first place. If anything, it's because it was an illusion that the time we spent together is so dear to me. No matter what happens, I cannot be saved. In which case, if I can at least keep on dreaming that dream right up until the end, that'd be... Stupid, she murmurs. She adjusts the point of her gun slightly. The massive steel creaks as she presses it against my chest. The point of her gun digs into my skin. It's a shallow cut, no deeper than the tip of a fingernail. Just a little more. If she takes one final step, it'll all be over. But she isn't taking the final step. She's just staring at me with those motionless eyes, weapon still in her hands. And then she bites her lip in anguish.
そっか。
She ain't gonna do it? It must be difficult for her to do it while I'm still watching her. Not to mention, I don't think I can bear to see her on the verge of tears any longer. At the very least, make it painless. I close my eyes and accept my fate. My heart is pounding violently. I thought I'd come to terms with it, but my nausea and chills refuse to disappear. Something's clinging on to life. My throat is burning. My fingers are trembling uncontrollably. I know it's for the best. I know the best way to end it all is to let her kill me here, but even so, I'm scared. Ha, ha, ha. I desperately fight to keep my breathing calm. If she thrusts her weapon forward 10 centimeters, I'll be reduced to nothing more than a lump of flesh. I feel like I could lose my mind at any moment. My senses have been sharpened beyond belief. My body can regenerate from anything short of a total annihilation. Both are signs that I'm already well past the point of no return as a human being. That's why I have no choice but to accept what's about to happen, because this heart, the one that's racing in fear, is surely destined to disappear without a trace. Ha 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 ha. I tightly clamp my mouth shut and try to prepare for what's about to happen. Getting stabbed in the chest is bound to hurt. But as afraid as I am, there's something preventing me from showing it. Something even stronger than fear itself. Sweat beads on my forehead. Even so, I will not cry out. If I can stay silent and resolute right up until the end, then Senpai shouldn't have to feel any guilt. I hear someone exhale.
どうして
Her voice sounds strained.
どうしてそんな
The stake that's been thrust into my chest is trembling.
私を恨まないでいられるんですか
No, that's not right. It's Senpai's voice that's trembling.
私はあなたを殺そうとしているんですよ。騙して裏切ってこうして残酷に追い詰めているのに、なんでそんな穏やかな顔してるんですか、あなたは。
Without moving her weapon, Senpai takes another step forward.
答えなさい。私はあなたを殺すんです。あなたの都合なんて関係なく、ただ一方的に殺そうとしているんです。ならせめて私を恨まないとあなたは報われないじゃないですか。
Senpai demands an answer, anger burning in her voice. She isn't making this easy. I was just about to be able to keep my fear in check, but if I answer her now, I won't be able to stop my emotions from pouring out.
それとも本当にバカなんですか、あなたは。私はあなたを汚らわしい吸血鬼として処理するんです。なのにどうして。
Come on, I already told you why.
だってそれは先輩のせいじゃないだろう。
Stab. She drives the tip of the stake even deeper into my chest. Fresh blood starts dripping from the wound. She must have broken the skin. Sparks race through every ounce of my flesh, through every sliver of my bones. The pain is so intense that it puts every headache I've ever experienced to shame. The wound isn't even that deep. Simply having the weapon known as the Seventh Scripture pierce my body at all is enough to shatter my mind to pieces.
痛いでしょ。本来なら無痛で消してあげられるのに、こうしてわざとあなたを苦しめているんです。今まであなたに付き合わされた分、こうでもして楽しまないと帳尻が合いませんから。
Her voice is faltering. She drives the point of the gun even deeper. The overwhelming pain makes my whole body break down in a cold sweat. It feels like my internal organs are threatening to spill out from my mouth.
ほら、私が憎いでしょ。だから早く恨んでください。私に裏切られたって、私なんか信用しなければよかったって言ってください。そうでないとあなたを殺すことができないじゃないですか。
Her breath catches in her throat as she speaks. It's just... what she's saying makes no sense. She's trying to get me to blame her despite the fact that she'd be tormented by it if I did. It's as if she's begging me to let her paint herself as the villain, like it's her way of punishing herself. But that's asking too much of me. I can't bring myself to cause her any more pain, especially not when she looks like a crying child.
まさか先輩を恨むことなんてできない。
やめてください。なんで最後までそんなことを言うんですか。悪いのは私で、あなたは被害者だって言うのに。
A victim? She's just as much of a victim here as I am. Regardless, it won't be long before Roa usurps control of my body. I have to kill him before he can commit more of the same atrocities he carried out as Ciel Senpai. If my death is the only way to make that happen, then so be it.
いいんだ。先輩は悪くないよ。それよりごめん。こんな役目を先輩に押し付けて。
She quietly begs me to stop, and I feel the weight of the steel against my chest lift ever so slightly.
ダメ。私はルアを見逃すことなんてできない。
The point of her gun is wavering, but I'm sure it won't for long.
そんなこと許されないんです。遠くん。
She aims the tip of the seventh scripture at my heart. I hear her take a deep breath. Even with my eyes closed, I can tell that she's gripping the trigger tightly. Clack. Just before I hear the dull rattle of metal.
ありがとう。たとえ嘘でも、先輩が先輩でいてくれてよかった。
Damn. What a tragic tale this is, man. God damn. In my final moments, I leave behind the words that I wanted to convey the most. There's the crying. I hear a voice. Sobbing. It sounds just like a child sobbing. Did you live that? She lets the mass of steel fall to the ground. On the wall behind me, there's a bullet hole that looks like it was made by a spear. She missed. She missed. I hear someone desperately trying to hold back their tears. Realizing whose voice it is that I'm hearing, I slowly open my eyes. What greets me isn't the senpai from a moment ago. The person standing before me is a completely ordinary girl, hanging her head and weeping bitterly. There's nothing in her hands. The seventh scripture lies discarded on the floor. The shot that should have skewered my heart punched through the wall beside me instead. Senpai just keeps on crying. I don't know why she's so sad, but she's crying as though she's in an unbearable agony.
先輩。
I call out to her.
ずるい。遠野くんはずるい。あんなことを言うなんてずるいです。なんで私なんかを。
Tears are streaming down her face.
できない。私、自分だっていつでも殺せるのに、あんなこと言われたらできない。
It seems like just looking at me fills her with guilt.
ありがとう。なんて、そんな幸せな人を死なせるなんて、やだ。
She buries her face in her hands and continues to weep.
先輩、そんなに泣かれると困る。
Because I don't know what to do about it. Maybe I should have chosen my words more carefully. Senpai is crying even harder now.
も
This isn't the time to complain about not knowing what to do. I can't stand to see Senpai crying and right in front of me, so I pull her close and embrace her. Aww. Senpai immediately collapses against my chest, muffling her voice as she continues to cry. God damn, look at the left side of his fucking body. Jesus Christ, he was right about all that. Damn. That shit is fucked beyond belief.
最
In a trembling voice, she repeats those words over and over again. Well, what do you know? The heartless version of Senpai that came here to kill me was the lie all along. I've finally been able to meet the real Senpai. It hasn't even been an hour since I called her, but it feels like I've been waiting forever for her to finally arrive.
謝らなくていいんだ、先輩。
For no deeper reason than wanting to hold her close, I wrapped my right arm around her. It was a sigh of something stretched almost to its breaking point finally being released. Senpai stopped crying. She must have calmed down at last. Ba-dump. We can each hear each other's heartbeats as clearly as if they were our own. It's so quiet. There's no need for words. Simply being able to listen to her heartbeat like this is enough for me. The thing I've been longing for all this time. The thing I wished for more than anything. It wasn't a big dream at all. All I wanted was for the real Senpai to stay by my side.
先輩の体、あったかい。
違います。あったかいのは遠野くんの方で、私は嫌になるぐらい冷たい人間です。こんなに優しい人にひどいことをしました。
You're wrong, Senpai. I'm not kind at all. Right now, all I can think about is your touch. I want to throw everything else to the wind and surrender to my desire, the desire to stay like this forever.
いいです。俺はまだ生きているんだから、それでいいんです。もう、こうしていられるなら、それでいいんだ。
A long time ago, I came face to face with death. When I did, I was granted eyes that let me see something I wish I was blind to. This world of visible death, of perceivable death. Here are things that threaten to fall apart at the lightest touch. However, it was precisely because they could fall apart that I came to realize life was a miracle in and of itself. And now, I'm living that miracle. The happiness of being here with Senpai, of feeling the gentle warmth of her body, is the greatest joy someone as dead as me could possibly experience.
先輩、俺、先輩がすごく大切だ。
遠野くん？
I'm in love with Senpai. I hold my own life in the utmost regard, but I treasure her even more than life itself. I don't want to make her cry like that ever again. I want her to live a life full of joy, a life that suits the happy smile of hers.
俺はやっぱり死にたくない。ギリギリまで生きて、こうして先輩と一緒にいたい。だから。
It's a greedy, selfish desire, but I say it anyway. In order to reckon with myself, and with her past.
俺はもう逃げない。自分から死のうなんて考えない。だから、お願いします、先輩。どうか、俺がロアに勝てる手助けをしてください。
大きく出ましたね。ロアを倒すではなく、ロアに勝利するですか。それは今まで誰もできなかったことですよ。
賞賛なしで大口を叩いてるのも承知の上です。でもそうしないともう先輩といられないんだからやるしかないです。
どんな無茶でもですか？
はい。俺が死ぬ以外の手段があるなら今はそれにかけてみたい。ああ、いえ、そもそも選択肢があるかどうかからですけど。
ありますよ。私にもわからないけど、きっとあります。
Senpai wraps her hands around mine. Her grip is firm and resolute.
あなたがロアと戦うというのなら、私も諦めません。大丈夫。聖堂教会だって無駄に2000年も続いていません。教会中をひっくり返せばきっと他の手段が見つかるはずです。 まあ遠野くんが私の言うことを何でも聞いてくれ
Of
るなら
course.
という条件はつきますが。
Ciel senpai casually slips in a terrifying joke. Thank goodness, she's back to being her usual self.
何ですかそれ。そんなに無茶なことばっかりなんですか、教会って。
まあ時と場合によっては大変な難病ですので、患者さんはお医者さんの判断を信じてくれないと話になりません。
そういうことなら問題ないですね。何があっても先輩が好きですから、俺。
そうですか。奇遇ですが、私も同じですので、信頼関係はバッチリですね。
Here you go. Hell yeah. Damn, senpai's way too cute when she's flustered. Despite the circumstances, I can't think of anything else but her. I've been staring intently at her face without even realizing it. Our faces are close. The arm I used to pull her close is wrapped around her delicate shoulders.
遠野くん。
I think I know where this is going.
ごめん先輩、もう我慢の限界だ。
はい。
My lips seek out senpai's as though drawn to them. Yeah. I feel her fleeting hesitation give way to a tentative response. It was not a deep kiss, but it was a long kiss, as if though it were affirming what we both feel for each other.
もうこんな時なのに男の子なんですね。
本能に忠実だと言ってください。目の前にこんな可愛い人がいたら誰だってこうします。
Senpai has gotten all flustered again. I'm beset by an even stronger urge to hold her tight, but I should restrain myself for now. If I don't, we'll be here all night.
とにかく先輩が手助けしてくれるなら100人力です。まずは教会に行けばいいんですね。
ええ、本国は無理でもこの国にはいくつかの支部がありますから。でもその前にもっと大きな問題がありました。ロアなんかより
Yeah,
大きな問題が。
I have a feeling I know what that is.
問題ですか。
いいえ、何でもありません。今はここから出ましょう。私のアパートなら少しは遠野くんを楽にしてあげられると思います。